giddy up, Josh Allen. Giddy up, it's my boy Blue. Do. He'll throw lasers right by you.
That's awesome.
I'm an idiot. It's not that awesome.
The guy who was on the receiving end of those lasers all year long after his first year with the Buffalo Bills. What a difference a year makes. Our good friend Stefon Diggs, brought to us by our friends at Old Spice. Stefon, what's up, buddy?
How you guys doing? It's always nice to see you. Good looking men, man. How are things?
Don't lie to him like that, Stefon. I'm good looking. He's not. You know that. Don't be a liar. Come on, man.
Somebody got to be Batman. Somebody got to be Superman. You get it. You know how it goes.
That's it. That's right. Hey, so I think back to last year when we saw you, and of course we assumed you were still going to be with the Vikings. We talked about areas where the Vikings need to improve. When was the moment that you made that decision? I got to make this change for the good of my career.
I want to say I considered it. I considered it even then. Even then, there was a thought in my mind. But heading into like the off season and when things are really start rolling as far as like trades and stuff like that, that's when I really made the concrete decision. But I was thinking about it for a while. Even during the season, prior to the season, everybody involved knew what I was thinking. It was just the world kind of caught it in the back end.
All right, so now you get to Buffalo, okay? What was your thoughts of Josh Allen going in, and then your first day being on the field with him, and your thoughts after that?
Well, I didn't watch too many of Buffalo other than the time that they kicked our butt during the season. They came to Minnesota. It was a well-coached team, a team that was ready to play. They just beat us flat out. I think maybe it was like 30-something to like 6 or 3, something like that. So I never seen I don't know what they say. Well, they said a lot of stuff going in when I first got traded about Josh Allen, about inaccurate, or he does this, he makes bad decisions, or whatever they were saying. I never saw it. Even from training camp on, I never saw him make bad decisions. I always seen him throw darts. I always seen him be accurate. I never seen him nothing characteristic of a quarterback. Like, I've been with so many quarterbacks. No quarterback is perfect, but he's damn near perfect. I've seen him miss maybe 7 throws of the whole season. For me, I never saw the guy that they tried to paint him to be. And I kind of saw a lot of potential. I saw he's a young quarterback. I've been with a young quarterback before, even when I was young. So as far as like getting on the same page early is going to be huge in his development and my development. Having some success in the league is one thing, but getting with a guy that you could really grow with and work with and build with, that's what you really want.
Were you shocked by like the arm strength at first? Like, was it an adjustment? Because no, you weren't at all. You knew what you were getting into.
Yeah, because I remember in the draft when he was coming out, and everybody was thinking about taking him high. They say he could throw the ball 70 yards. Anybody that can throw the 70, 80 yards, anybody that can throw the ball 70, 80 yards has a cannon for an arm. So when I first got there, he was slinging it. He was throwing it. He was throwing it pretty hard. I was like this, hey, like take a little off that. Yeah, I didn't do nothing yet. You ain't got to throw it that hard. So I used to crack jokes. I'm like, you don't even throw the ball that hard. And he'll just throw a dart at me once or twice during practice. So I got adjusted to that pretty quick. Playing receiver, you get used to catching the ball, but it was definitely something different.
Yeah, I want to go back to last year because I'm reflecting on how things happened for you. In hindsight, how surprising is it to you that you were able to just post a tweet or two and boom, that's it? A trade's done that night?
I'm not surprised. That's the world we live in. Everything is instant. Instant gratification, instant information. It all travels fast, and when you're dealt a series of cards and you have to play your ace in the hole, you play it. You don't have a choice, especially when it comes down to your life and where you feel like you want to be and the things you want for yourself. For me, I feel like we live in that world. I'm not surprised at all. Back in the day, maybe it wouldn't have happened that way because there wasn't too much social media or like people having followings and that kind of thing. So I wasn't too surprised.
Okay, so the situation that's happening in the NFL now with Deshaun Watson, we all know the story. We all know he wants out of Houston. He hasn't said so directly. Would you advise him to just do what you did and make it known, hey, it's time for a change?
No, because he doesn't have to. The quarterback position is one of the positions that's under a huge microscope. It's not like being a receiver or being a tight end. Being a skill position is one thing, but being the quarterback, everybody knows when you're not happy. Everybody knows when things aren't things aren't right. There's no rectifying it. Of course, I don't think he ever has to say anything. You're not supposed to really say anything. Up to that tweet, I never said anything. I never said I won out of Minnesota. You can only strongly suggest or create your own opinions about it. And I kind of saw things that happen in the media, people sharing their tidbits about how they feel this should happen or how we should handle it. In the world we live in now, anybody who's played professional of any sport, you put a lot of time and effort and consideration into your job, into what you do, and you want that to be appreciated. I don't know the whole situation with Deshaun Watson, but obviously he feels away for a reason. It didn't just come out of nowhere. I've obviously traded DeAndre Hopkins and that kind of stuff can kind of play a role in the quarterback's success. And I would say, do whatever you got to do to handle your business and what you want for yourself. For me, I was one of the people that it worked out for because, of course, in my opinion, they didn't think I was going to go to Buffalo and it was going to go well. They didn't know it was going to happen that way. They thought Josh Allen was probably inaccurate. They probably just thought Josh Allen and me weren't going to mesh well, or whatever, for whatever reason. They thought I was a diva. But I was one of the few stories of going into a new chapter or a new path, and it worked out. So for me, I'm on the back end, not really saying too much because it worked out in my favor. God's great. God's great. So I'm blessed.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're awesome. You are blessed, and yeah, you're a damn good football player. Just to piggyback off that a little bit too, then, like, why did it work so much in Buffalo as far as how they used you in the offense? I know it was different. I watch film and do all that, but like, explain to the viewer, the differences in how Buffalo used you and maybe how you were used up in Minnesota.
Buffalo and Coach Dayball, one of probably my favorite coaches ever. Getting to know him, learning him, and him learning me. He's one of those offensive geniuses, offensive minds that's always trying to do something new or trying to figure out ways to do things differently with window dressing and X, Y, Z. So for me, and it also was pass heavy. We threw the ball a lot. We rarely ran the ball, and it was total opposite of my previous situation. We ran the ball, 80, 70% of the time. So having that offense of play action and that kind of thing is different. For me, that was my old offense. I remember it clear as day. It was a lot of play action, a lot of down the field shots, a lot of deep threat. I remember at one point they were saying like I was one of the best deep threats of like running the go ball, and I was like, since I got in the league, I've been more so geared to route running and that kind of thing. So it's all what kind of offense you're in, and Buffalo's more pass heavy. They kind of matriculate down the field or take their shots when they need to, and they just throw the ball a lot. So. That's all really predicated on a receiver success if you throw the ball.
Well, I feel like you went to a different level this year, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's all the other. But like I interviewed Josh Allen before your Indianapolis Colts, or maybe it was the Ravens playoff game, and he basically told me, he just goes, if it's one-on-one with Diggs, he goes, I'm throwing it to him. That there's really not a question. So like, what about your own game do you think you improved too? To be that guy now, like, or maybe you think you always were that guy.
It's such a weird feeling because since I came in the league, I've always been a workaholic. I've always been a guy with something to prove. That chip on your shoulder kind of guy, and I put a lot of time in to be where I am right now. I've always considered myself a number one wide receiver. Since I got in the league, I've been getting matched by some of the best receivers, some of the best corners in the game. For me, it's not a surprise to my success. It's more so when preparation and that opportunity. I just was getting a couple more opportunities than I was in my previous situation. It's no showing on my old situation. It was just where their offense was and where they wanted it to go and how they wanted it to be. So being in this new situation, I've never changed, or I don't feel like I became a different player. I just feel like I got more opportunities and I was being utilized to the best of my ability. And when you're utilized, your talent show, whether you can do it or can't, you can. That's what it comes with. The rubber meets the road, and they rolled the dice. They gave up, some draft picks and X, Y, Z for me to get the job done, and that's what I came.
Stefon, we had Otis Anderson used to play for the Giants on the program earlier this week. He told us when Scott Norwood of the Bills was kicking the field goal in Super Bowl 25, he was by the tunnel because if that kick goes through, he's gone. He's not staying out on the field. There's a great picture of you out on the field after the game against the Chiefs, hands on your hips, kind of soaking it all in. Why did you stay out there to watch the celebration, and what thoughts, what motivations did you have in that moment?
Yeah, that's it's tough. after the game, when the whistle blew, I'm a guy that plays till the whistle blows to the end of the game. I was talking about a little bit earlier. I feel like I'm a champion. I feel like I'm a winner. The best team won that day. And I wanted to embrace that moment in its totality as far as like, I'm not a hater. I don't hate on nobody, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not that guy to shun anybody's situation or downplay it. I wanted to embrace that moment as they were the better team that day, and you should be motivated. You should be driven to, go chase the things that they're after. For me, that was my second time being one game away from the Super Bowl. And for me to tell you that I don't think I'm going to be back in that situation, I'll be lying. I know I'm going to be back in that situation because I know I'm a champion. I know I'm a winner, and I know I'm going to do everything in my power to get us back in that situation. So I just wanted to soak that all up and soak in that moment and soak in all the good and the bad. It hurt a lot to watch it, but you need to see it. You need to see it, and you need to evaluate it and use it as a motivation for you to get to the next level.
And both of those games where you made it to the conference championship and it didn't work out, those are road games. How critical is it for the Bills the next time that level comes around to be playing that game at home and not on the road?
At home. Being at home makes a huge difference. People can say it doesn't matter or whatever. When you're at home, you're in your own stadium, you're comfortable, you don't have to get adjusted to whatever the wind or whatever's going on. No excuses. But it's always good playing at home because you got that crowd behind you. Shout out to Bills Mafia that I haven't had too much time with, but I know when the time comes, they'll be there loud and proud. But it definitely makes a huge difference and something that I look forward to.
I mean, the Bills Mafia loves you, so don't worry. You're in the club. You're in the circle of trust, all right? What I want to know is how much practice did we have to go through with Josh Allen to get that 7-minute handshake you guys got? Oh, yeah, go, do it. Yeah, right. And then you pat each other on the shoulder. I mean, where does that go down? When do you find the time to kind of orchestrate that?
It's kind of like a beginning stage of a handshake where it's super simple, like, hey, nice to meet you. Like, all right, and then the closer you get with somebody, the more y'all start developing a handshake. And it starts out super simple, and you kind of got to build off of it. I think weekly we build it off of like, he'll be like, all right, it's time to ask him. All right, it's time to ask him. So it doesn't get old. So that's one of those things that like relationship builders. If I could write a book about building a relationship with quarterbacks, that'd be one of them. Get you a handshake, build a the more success you have, the more fun you have.
Yeah, that's pretty good. There's no doubt. I mean, it's special. All right, one last thing, because I know you got other stuff to do and you smell, and we got to talk about Old Spice and how they make you smell better. But with the scrambling, that's the last thing I want to ask you about. What was the adjustment like that? Because I don't think you ever played with a quarterback that moves the way he has. That had to be somewhat of an adjustment.
Yes, definitely. Last quarterback I had that scramble a lot was, I think, Case Keenum, and Teddy scrambled a little bit, but those are more guys that were trying to get the ball out their hands, trying to just make the right decision. This guy was really scrambling to throw the ball, and I seen him make some crazy throws, like, across your body. It was a rule that I couldn't go. If he's rolling right, I couldn't go left. They say, like, stop doing that. They told me something. I said, Coach, but I'm open, and he can throw it. He can throw it. He can make that throw. It was like this. I don't want him throwing across his body. I know he can throw the ball. He said, take your butt to the sideline or do whatever you want, but don't go opposite. I was like, all right, man. But Josh would give me like a wink and be like, don't worry about it. I get it to you. So it was something I had to adjust to because I'm thinking at sometimes, damn, the play's over. Like, he's about to throw the ball away. And like, I need to get open again. I need to run another route or try to figure out a way to get open because this guy's trying to scramble to throw it.
Stefon, of all the Old Spice interviews that we've done, of all the players we've interviewed over the years, I think you're the first one to go T-shirt over the hoodie. I like the look. I may have to steal it. Tell us what you got going on with Old Spice this year.
Talking a little bit about their cologne quality scent deodorant. This pandemic has been pretty tough on everybody. I was on the couch a couple of times like this. How I put on deodorant? And it was just, I'm big on hygiene. Even me, I'm big on hygiene. But so for me, I'm just talking about a little bit about the deodorant. Dynasty. It smells good. It's available at Target. I feel like everybody on this Zoom call or this call should try it out. and let me know how it goes. If I wear it, you gotta give it a shot.
I know you gave me free Old Spice last year, I believe. So you're always good for that. I mean, that's I missed that. Me and Mike, we missed the perks of Radio Row this year and not getting our free Old Spice. It really does stink.
I think I'm still using the Old Spice that like over the years, I've never had to buy any because every time we do one of these, they send me a bag full of Old Spice stuff. I'm still working on it. So I hope to get another bag of Old Spice Dynasty products, Stefon. As always, man, it's great to see you. Congratulations on your phenomenal year. And we wish you all the best. We hope next year we can't talk to you. We hope next year you're otherwise occupied this week.
Don't call me. Don't talk to me. I don't want to hear nothing from you guys, all right?
You're the man, Stefon. See you, buddy.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.